Jujutsu Kaisen?
No, League of Legends.
No, the League of Legends one.
All right,
Nice.
so
What's it called?
Arcane. So
Arcane.
for context, before the
Arcane.
podcast, we were talking a bit about the new show Arcane that came out on Netflix. I've been raving about it because it's like amazing. And these two, well, Sean, you haven't seen it at all, and Colton, you've seen episode.
I've seen two episodes of it.
Okay.
2 episodes.
Now,
yep.
see, I just watched the trailer on YouTube, and I played I played like 5 matches of League of Legends, let's say. I don't understand why shows or the entertainment industry feels the need to make a show about this thing that's League of Legends. Like, obviously, League of Legends, you don't need a show about it, or it's not a plot based thing. It's like a combat based thing. No one cares about the plot in League of Legends, so why do you need to make a show about it? But the show is probably good. Like, the idea, whatever the show is, that's probably going to be really good. But it doesn't need to be about League of Legends in my mind. It just needs to be a cool show. But I think they're going for like the popularity that is.
I think they're just pulling off it, but it definitely does not. Like, I'm in the same vein with you, Sean. As I have only played, I got to like level 5 or something like that in League. Just never stuck with it, and they don't really delve too much into like.
There's no plot. There's nothing.
Oh yeah,
man.
there isn't.
It's just.
But
it's a fight.
There's a bunch of lore on characters.
What? Oh, there is.
Well,
You
now
changed
that the TV show's around, there is a plot.
That doesn't count.
But they're
really?
making the plot. That's the point of the TV show. The lore.
But the plot has no effect on the game. It's always be the same thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, what you love these characters. You want to see them like you want to see their backstory, right?
I have seen a bunch of their skins.
Yeah, I was like, if I'm paying skins for this content or for this game, I want to see like the full backstory. You know what I mean? Like, I want
in
that.
League of Legends, all you do is you're a guy with powers, and you run across the field and you fight someone else, and it's like a strategic battle.
But they have emotional backstory. They have baggage. They might know the other guy they're fighting.
Of these, I mean, of the 3 of us, right? Colton, you've played quite a bit of League, right?
I've played the most, I think. Yeah.
You got to level 30 and played ranks before, right?
I got level 30 is the cap. You get to level 30 after like probably 10 to 20 hours, and I played much more than that. So I played a low rank. I was like not that good. I like playing the casual more, but I did play a little bit of ranked, and I thought I was pretty good. I don't know. I like beat a lot of people. I like won most of my matches, I think. But again, I didn't play ranked that much. I remembered you, so I'm probably just a plebe. I'm going to do the intro now because I feel like I have to at some point, or I never will. All right, guys. Welcome to Almost a Podcast. I am your host today. Lad 1, Colton. I got my other 2 lads here.
What's up?
Sean and Mike.
Sean,
You're not going to introduce yourselves.
That's me.
I was expecting you guys to chime in, but yeah.
We do the intro different every single time we do this show.
Oh,
We
totally,
do, yeah. I'm trying to use lads more because I like referring to you guys as lads. I think you guys are true lads.
Laddies.
Yeah. But
I'll take it. I like being addressed as a lad.
yeah, lads are cool. I mean, like, that's the next big thing, I think. Lads.
What was the first 2
I don't
things?
know, like
Or-
boys.
what were the other big
Boys is
things?
come and gone. It's
gents.
dropping off.
Really?
I think boys
You
is
think
dropping
boys
off.
is dropping off?
I think boys is just overused. Everyone's the boys. No one's the lads. We're the lads.
I see what you're
Being
saying now.
hipsters.
Yeah. Anyways, should we continue what we were talking about before?
I mean, I'm excited to see the show because it looks cool. I just don't really think it needs to relate to League of Legends.
I think I don't know. It's what like a lot of people wanted, I think, because they have all the like lore pages for these characters. And a lot of people like, I don't know, like you've been playing as this one character, playing as this like waifu of yours for like 6 years. And you're finally wanting, like, you want some backstory behind that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can see
I don't know.
that.
I
I just wish the game did it first, and then the TV show built off of that.
But
Yeah,
here's
I
the
guess.
thing, like, think about any other video game adaptation. They tend to like go toward like they try to turn the gameplay into a movie thing, right? Which just doesn't work because gameplay's better because you are now in the driver's seat. So it's always, pulling into the movie setting. Like, I think it was the Assassin's Creed. Obviously, they're making the Mario movie coming out, which, oh my gosh. Chris Pratt.
I don't know how that's going to perform.
I'm excited for a Mario movie.
Let's predict what the heck Mario is going to be about. Do you think they're going to just have him going through levels?
I know there's going to be like some weird thing where it's like Mario is trying to find. I think he's going to try and find this like secret jewel. It's going to be like an Indiana Jones thing. Bowser has this like thing, and Mario's going to go get it, and then they're all going to team up in the end to defeat the real boss. Like,
what are the odds they show Mario's backstory? Like,
do we
how
have
he
his
became
backstory?
Mario.
Do we?
What's Mario's backstory?
I don't know.
I don't know what his backstory is.
How does Mario become Mario? Does he find the golden
He just grows a mustache.
and then just becomes the best? Like, he was a plumber.
Like, he ate a mushroom and all shit went wild after that? I'm going to look it up right now.
You think this whole thing is an acid trip? Like,
yes.
I mean,
he just got high off mushrooms in the forest.
Like, he's just on acid the entire time.
Crawling through the sewers of New York or something.
Mushrooms, it's psilocybin.
So on the very first thing in Wikipedia, it said that Miyamoto wanted to, Mario was made because he couldn't use Popeye as the protagonist.
Popeye is in the guy who eats spinach and gets buff?
I don't know how, reliable this information is.
Is it on Wikipedia?
It was a Wikipedia thing, yeah. Now I'm looking into...
100% accurate then. This is factual.
It's got, too many editors for it not to be wrong. I want the source for this.
I think they're all fighting over who's right.
Right? It's just a bunch of internet trolls.
I don't see how that movie could be good.
I think
it won't work out.
I think it's going to be so bad it's good. It'll probably be on the same level as the Sonic movie.
I agree.
Which was a Sonic movie was okay, right?
But that got a second movie.
Yeah.
The second,
how?
The Sonic movie, I think people kind of liked, or at least kids liked it.
I hate that movie.
Was all right.
The Sonic movie scares me still. I know they reworked Sonic, but it still kind of frightens me.
Oh, that
to see
original
him in that
trailer?
Situation. The original Sonic
the original trailer was
trailer
terrible. Did they purge that from the internet, or did you?
No, it's
you still
forever
find
documented.
Oh yeah,
we can all watch it at our pleasure.
It's forever seared into our minds.
That was terrifying.
And because in the original trailer for Sonic had him as this weirdly, uncanny valley humanoid looking thing.
He was human.
This is a video game character.
It was the teeth, man. He had a human
can't
mouth.
really look like that.
Yeah, they've tried.
His eyes and his teeth.
Oh.
They were not Sonic, man. They just needed to.
He looked like a little boy with feathers attached, as opposed to a hedgehog.
Yeah, it was like someone tried to animate
fast.
a cat, and that's what turned out, and it was absolutely mortifying.
Mm-hmm.
And the internet lit on fire.
It was.
And everyone
it was
like,
absurd.
Change it now! It was crazy.
You want to know?
And then they did.
When Mario was announced, you want to know what I originally thought? I didn't think are we assuming that the Mario movie is going to be like a 3D animated movie, right? It is going to be animated. That. I was originally on the impression when they announced it, they were announcing Chris Pratt's Mario. Yeah, I was live action. I was Chris Pratt just in a Mario costume, just walking around being a dunce the entire time.
Now that would be amazing.
How terrible would that be?
I think that would be awesome.
It'd be so bad it's good.
I'd pay money for that.
Yeah, it'd just be so cringe.
I'd wait for DVD. They did announce a Halo TV show. They're gonna try and do that again.
Cool. Okay.
Now they've tried to do this several times. It's never worked. The only time it did work was when they did it was the Halo 4 pre-launch, and it was a YouTube short, 6 episodes of those, and it wasn't focused on the Master Chief, the main character of Halo. It was focused on the Marines or cadets in Marine training school.
Yeah.
So it was a lot more grounded. Most of the show didn't even have aliens in it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of them training, and then stuff goes wrong, and then everything happens at the end of the last 1 or 2 episodes. That was really well done, and it looked good, and I liked it. They've done another thing that wasn't as good.
Yeah. And what about those animated
this?
ones that you showed us? So you showed us the Halo.
The animated ones are awesome.
Yeah, you showed us
this show called Halo Legends.
Halo Legends, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, you showed us those.
And it was several anime studios in Japan.
Like Star Wars Visions.
Got to make short stories from Halo. Like Star Wars Visions, except not as crazy. Like,
yeah, these were canon,
I think
right?
the ones... I think they were all canon. I mean, like they could all be canon.
Yeah, they weren't.
It wasn't
that
anything out of the
outlandish.
realm of possibility. There was only one that was like really anime, and the rest could have been canon.
Was it Trigger who made that?
I don't know who made the really anime episode.
The weirdly
I have to
anime
look and see.
episode.
Yeah.
But
Sounds like a
it was
Trigger thing.
it was awesome though. It was like anime because in Halo. Anime works for Halo. Like you can have these just super OP dudes like punching stuff, you know,
You could make it
had
work.
guns
I think.
and things like that.
Yeah, make it like
Better than Star Wars, I thought.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I like Star Wars Visions a lot, but
Is that sarcastic?
Did you guys both
or-
finish it by now?
oh yeah,
I didn't finish it. I couldn't.
Oh no.
I was not a huge fan overall of the Visions.
I still
I mean,
like
I know
episode 1 a lot.
We talked about this in our first podcast, but yeah, I mean, like, I only liked 1 and 4. I guess I could go back and watch some more, but I kind of gave up, I guess.
Well,
I don't know. I won't watch them again for a while, and even then I might watch like 1 or 2 episodes. It doesn't have like something that I'm like I would go back and show somebody and be like, wow, this is amazing.
like-
You gotta
this
see all
is-
of this.
This is your what you should introduce someone who's never seen anime before, like Star Wars Visions.
Yeah.
It's not
what
quite
then?
that.
What drew you to the Halo ones? Just they're kind of the same concept, but
Yeah, I don't know how I originally found Halo Legends. It just kind of popped up. I was looking like at a Halo TV show, and that popped up. And I thought they were all really well done. There's only 1 or 2 that I didn't fully enjoy. Just it just did more backstory on people that I wasn't really interested in. But for the most part, all of them were like really interesting to me or impactful to me to see stuff about the Halo universe or like how this character interacted with this or this type of character interacted with this person. Yeah. So it was really cool.
Yeah, because you're a super fan. You're qualified basically as a super fan, right? I think that's what you're qualified as for the Halo franchise.
I mean, I like to think of myself as a pretty big Halo fan.
I'm looking at the tapestry on your wall right now. I think that would.
Yeah, I do have a tapestry of Master Chief on my wall.
You also seem to always buy the Xbox consoles, the exclusive editions. Like, didn't you have an Xbox One,
and get that, yeah.
and then you bought another Xbox One that was the Halo edition?
Yes,
I think. Yeah.
Well, so one was the family Xbox, and then I bought mine, which is the limited edition one for like Halo 4 or Halo 3.
Yeah, with like the nice controller and everything like that too.
Yeah. And then, for Infinite, of course, I got to get the limited edition one of that.
Yeah.
And
the
the
console
limited edition
specifically.
controller.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of Halo money there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, behind me on my bookshelf, there's like one shelf that's almost entirely Halo books.
Oh yeah, they have a bunch of books too.
So,
I think that's super fan. I think Shiny's a super fan.
I'm not like a super fan in the way that like I can't recall every little detail that exists in the Halo universe, but I know a lot about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've been playing the game since I was like 6 years old. So the majority of my life, I've been doing Halo stuff. So I don't know. I really like the story and I really like the universe and, killing people online. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And watching the Halo 2 remastered cutscenes, the drinking game.
Oh yeah, I'll do that sometimes. I'll just rewatch the cutscenes.
Oh yeah, we did that.
Those Halo 2 cutscenes, the remastered ones, are absolutely stunning.
Oh, yeah,
I can't wait to get to them. I have to play through that game.
Yeah,
and the Halo Wars 2 cutscenes are beautiful as well. I had not played Halo Wars 2, but man, was it a good storyline. It was so cool. I love watching that stuff.
I've never played any of the Halo games besides like casually. Like I think I've played a little bit with you, and like other friends throughout high school and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's never really stuck with me. But I remember us, specifically in Montreal, just watching through all those.
We played a drinking.
Yeah, we played a drinking game.
We played a drinking game.
The
to
Halo
it.
2 cutscenes.
Yeah, I was like, we were bored. We were like, it's too cold. Some guys were out doing their own thing. let's just put a laptop out and then, drink some shots to Halo, I guess.
Yeah, the drinking game was super fun. I think the rules were like we every time someone says Chief, every time someone says Cortana, you take a drink, and then we had the rule where when Sergeant Johnson says, let's get tactical Marines, everyone takes a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we kind of just knew that was coming, but we didn't know how many times they said Chief I think also you take a drink when someone says Marines. So with those three words, they say that so often in Halo. It was
fun.
It was a done deal. Ton of fun.
And also,
remember that
do we also drink when he says for a brick he flies pretty good?
I don't remember, but
famous quote.
That was also a good line.
Yeah, it's a very good line.
I mean, just anytime Sergeant Johnson says anything, it's great.
Yeah, I don't know. Big fan of Halo. It's definitely one of my favorite, if not favorite, video games of all time. So
yeah, I'm trying to think if I'm a super fan of anything, of any franchise. Are you, Mike?
Monster Hunter?
Well, I'm not. Mike, do you consider yourself a super fan?
Oh, no, I've only played a couple games. I haven't played any of the original of Monster Hunter, but for anything, I can't say I'm a super fan of any kind of franchise. I love my stuff.
I'm sure you guys.
Lord of the
have
Rings, maybe.
Really
I
like.
love Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're definitely a super fan of Lord of the Rings. You can quote half the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
And you've read the books. I mean,
multiple
that's
times,
more
right?
than most people for sure.
No, not multiple times, just once.
Not multiple times? Okay. Man, I don't know if I have anything. Jeez. I feel like there's got to be something.
Smash Brothers? I don't know.
I love Smash Bros, but there's not really any lore there to get.
Well, there's a lore of individual characters, and stuff.
Well,
like
I know Nintendo. Like I'm a big Nintendo fanboy, I guess. But I don't know all the characters. I've played, I think, most of the original series. I guess I haven't sought out. I feel like a true Nintendo fan or nerd plays a lot of the NES and the SNES games, and I just don't really have much interest in that. I played.
I don't think you have to play everything. You just have to really like something. I've not played every Halo game, just most of them.
Oh, what game have you played?
9 out of 10.
You fake.
I haven't played Halo Wars 2.
Oh, you haven't played Halo Wars 2?
So you haven't
That's like
played
an
one of the
RTS
spin-off
game,
games,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's an RTS game, but it does still relate, and I think actually that story leads into Halo Infinite. So I'm actually glad I saw all the cutscenes for it.
Wait, so it's actually canon.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
I believe.
It's kind of a weird thing to think about, right? Because it's such a non-linear, right? Because it's an RTS, right? So you don't know who's going to win. I find that really interesting.
Well, there's a campaign, for it. Okay. So if you lose the battle, you just have to redo it.
Yeah.
But there is a campaign, so there is a story that you follow and missions that you do.
I see. Okay.
And it ends up being pretty cool, and I think it's cool. It's interesting because it's about the ship that just kind of goes off and does its own thing, away from everybody else, away from the Covenant War, and then the second one comes out. They basically the first game is during the Covenant War, and they die, or some people die and they are adrift and they have to go into sleep, cryo sleep, and they wake up and they're like, the Covenant War is still going on, but it's not. It's actually, Halo Infinite times where it's these other faction of brutes this other Covenant faction. There's a lot going on.
There,
I don't really want to unpack it all right now, but basically it's interesting, I think, and it adds a lot. And it was a cool cutscene compilation that I saw. So
yeah.
And nicely rendered and everything like that. That's the great thing about those Halo cutscenes, especially the Halo 2 remastered. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, they look so good.
I don't think any other game can compare when it comes to those kinds of cutscenes. Besides
maybe Warcraft.
Okay, yeah, Warcraft got pretty. Yeah,
Blizzard can make some really good cutscenes. Yeah.
But they're fabulous. I'm excited to I have yet to play it. So the Infinite multiplayer, I know you guys have been playing it a bit. And we'll see where the story goes, obviously, right? That's coming out when? Did it get delayed to
December 9th?
December 9th. Oh. Very little time for that to come out.
Yeah, I'm excited. I really hope my console gets here before then and I'm able to play it. I live in fear that they're going to cancel my console every day. because they've been doing that. Like,
have they really?
They suspect you of
of like buying 10 of them or something,
botting it or something.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh, we're canceling your order. I'm like, what?
Well, that's BS.
You bought one. It's
I know.
not like you're gonna resell it or anything like that.
It's a terrible system that they did to release it. It's just a terrible landscape in general to order anything now.
Yeah, it's a terrible time if you want a console
and scalpers.
Yeah, I've been waiting to get a graphics card for like the past year or so, just like for it to
will
get
it
down to a
ever go
reasonable
back
price.
to normal at this point? It's like, no. Jesus, I feel like at this
point,
no,
I think it will. It's just gonna take years because and the reason it's working is because there's such a shortage. Of the parts to make the consoles. They can only release a limited amount,
right?
And the botters get those. I mean, it used to be a thing where scalpers would have them, but it wasn't big. It was only like for maybe a month.
Yeah, it only do the very initial,
and then they had just saturated the market with these consoles.
Right
now, they can't saturate the market, so the scalpers get it first and hold on to all of them. So it's kind of a sucky situation.
Feels
all
like
around.
A dystopian society we live in. Like, I can't buy my freaking PS5
off Amazon.
Are you kidding me?
From
it's like
couch?
The one thing. It's like, of all things I can't buy, a PS5. Really? That's what I can't buy. What I want to. It's like very strange. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not just limited sometimes to consoles. Like, you're saying dystopian. It's not super dystopian in the sense for when it's like, I can't get my graphics card, boo-hoo.
Right.
But when the pandemic was going on, they like when it was like full force, there was two guys who went around and bought like all of the toilet paper within like the entire state, or tried to, and then they would sell it on eBay for like $1,000 a roll, and eventually were arrested for it, or like told to return it or you're arrested, or like say essentially give it away or you're arrested.
Same thing happened with Purell.
And I mean, that's dystopian. I mean, like when it turns into anything, like like a common household item that people are buying en masse, that's dystopian for sure.
Yeah, that whole toilet paper thing was just so odd. It was like everyone's doing it, and like no one knows why they're doing it. They're just doing it. It was so bizarre how that kind of like spread, and then like the fact that everyone did it was like the main cause in other people going out and trying to do it. It was a very strange thing.
And of all the things too, toilet paper.
Toilet paper. It's like, how is this going to help?
Right.
Yes, I'm going to shit immensely from.
It's that mob mentality.
Yeah, mob mentality is real. And honestly,
someone says something, it's not a problem.
Right.
10 people says something, it builds, and it's ridiculous.
I mean, if you go into like a grocery store, let's say this would be a good social experiment. You go to Walmart, 10 of your buddies go and just like, when the doors open, you all sprint to one thing that's like meaningless, right? Like a candle or some sort of like, I don't know, like some random item. See what other people do. See what other people do. Like if you all sprint to that item, or if you do that at multiple stores, and see if you can get other people to like just pick it up on their way or something like that. I don't know. I feel like that's my mentality is very strange. How it just completely
I was at the store today and I still saw items that had limited. You can only purchase, X amount of these. One of those weirdly was ramen.
Wow.
I don't know why.
Really?
What?
Yeah. I was like,
ramen is like the most
exactly. I was like,
thing.
wait, what?
In a dystopian society, I feel like ramen would be a great item to buy, though. Let's be real.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Like that would be a good item to buy.
I mean, isn't that used as money in prisons? They use that as like a bartering system.
Hilarious. Chicken ramen.
Yeah.
For cigarettes. Ramen all day over cigarettes. Hot take.
Literally hot.
I don't know if that's a hot take.
Yeah, it might not be.
It's like one is like, well, they're both kind of unhealthy. Well, one's definitely unhealthy, and one's like, kind of unhealthy.
One's like, just don't eat it every day, man.
Dude, I might have some ramen later.
I'm hungry now.
If I even have any.
I told myself I wouldn't eat any more tonight, but I could use some ramen. I could use pizza, chicken wings, or like mac and cheese. Just some of the bad, unhealthy stuff sounds good.
You're hungry, boy.
Just something bad.
Yeah.
I need to figure out what to make for dinner. I could make udon. It's always a good go-to.
You might as well make ramen at that point.
We don't want to get back into our ramen
versus udon discussion.
Debate.
Yeah.
Because we'll know who win that argument.
Well, someone will win. There will be a winner. Someone will be decided. But that'll be another time.
Yeah. No, I actually made an awesome. I went to the store today and grabbed some steaks. I splurged. I'm like, all right,
steaks.
I want some. Yeah.
Ooh.
I saw them. I'm like, I need to grab some steaks, and I made a freaking awesome steak today. It was great. I'm still.
How do you make
today?
How did you make your steak?
All right.
What was your process?
So I've tried a bunch of different ways for me like cooking stuff, and I think the best is you take a pan. I don't actually have cast iron. Cast iron is the best one, but
why is cast iron the best?
Cast iron is the best.
It just is.
You have
why?
Because it is.
Sell me on cast iron.
Why is nature neat? Because it is.
Because it's really durable. It can take high heat, and then when you season it well, it's basically a non-stick pan.
It's a non-stick pan.
I am a big fan of seasonings. Yes,
seasoning is
doesn't
oil.
Mean
yeah.
I know. I'm joking.
I was like,
yeah, making it so it becomes non-stick. I'm all about it, and you don't need to use soap. You just
you just scrub all the grime off.
Water.
Yeah.
Yep, and you're done.
But I was waiting for. Oh, go ahead, Mike. Finish your process.
Continue with your story. I interrupted with my cast iron debate.
But I don't have cast iron. I use stainless steel. What you gotta do?
Oh, what were we talking about that for?
Because I want to have cast iron. But I just
gotta level up to the
I
cast
feel
iron.
like you need to have like an actual like good cast iron pan. Like my mom has one that her grandmother used, and it's like 100 years old.
Oh,
it's like
they go forever,
awesome,
and you can
very spicy.
You can cook anything.
It's very seasoned.
You can cook chicken Alfredo. You can cook maybe not udon, but you can cook like a stir fry in a cast iron. Now that's high level, high
But the
IQ.
trick for steak though is what I do is I do a little bit of layer of like a thin layer of oil, usually like canola or vegetable oil, and fry one side of it, and then halfway through add butter and garlic, and then you baste that. And I don't like adding it first because the butter can burn, and so I'm always careful about that.
Yeah.
And you just baste your steak with butter and garlic, and it's amazing. It makes the best steaks, and it gets like this nice crispy crust on it, and then like a nice medium rare inside. I can go on forever about that, but it's amazing.
Now
what?
Wait, I do have
you had a question about your cast iron?
Did you flip it and you cook the other
side,
or what'd you do after? Okay, so like you didn't put it in the oven then?
No, not at all. Just
you don't put it in the oven?
I had a very thin steak. It
was a thin steak?
It was only about a half inch. It wasn't like a thick boy like a filet mignon. It was just a cheaper cut. But I was like, fuck yeah, I want some steak.
Bruh. I gotta say the correct method, I think, to cook steak, I guess, as long as it's not super thin. If it's super thin, you might not be able to do this. But I think you got a big chunky boy, like, what is this? 3 inches thick, right? You sear one side. This is the correct method. No, this is
3 inches.
This is a good steak. Yeah, exactly. That thick. Do 3 inches.
That's huge.
Yeah. That's how thick it should be.
This is like that's an inch.
That.
No way you have a 3 inch long steak.
2 inches? 1 inches? I don't know.
1.5.
A nice thick steak that you expect, right? You do it. Basically, Michael did all the right steps, right? You cook one side, thin layer of oil, flip it over, butter, garlic, all the good stuff. Butt. However, Mike might not have been able to do this because he had a thin steak. If you got a thick steak, you got to put it right in the oven at 425 and let it cook. Have either of you tried this?
I have.
This is the right way to cook a steak.
You don't put steaks in the oven?
Yes. Yeah. You sear both sides, and then you put it in the oven, and you let it cook until it's at your desired temperature.
What are you going on about? That makes no sense.
Sean, if you disagree with me on this, I don't know if I can call you a steak super fan. Like, this is the right way.
The fact that
this is the right way to cook a steak.
Put it in the oven means you cannot be a steak super fan.
No. This is how you cook steaks. This is how your favorite steak is cooked.
How do you like steak? How do you like your steak?
How do you like steak? You're just saying well done?
No,
like what
medium
is
rare,
wrong
boy.
With your steaks?
Medium rare, lad.
So you can't get medium rare in an oven.
You can. You just don't know the secret. You have to be very careful about the time you put it in the oven. Remember, you sear both sides, both ends. You get it brown, you get it dark and like caramelized, right? Then you put it in the oven. Your favorite steak that you've had is done that way. If you go to a restaurant and you get a steak like that, it is done that way.
The favorite steak.
I don't like restaurant steaks. I don't like steaks.
What do you mean you don't like restaurant steaks? Have you ever had like a really expensive steak?
I never get a steak at a restaurant. You know.
Have you ever had you've never went to like a 3-star, 4-star steak restaurant?
I mean maybe at one time, but I wouldn't go there over something that I can make at my own house.
I'm with Sean on this. I've had one steak I've made. I've had one steak at a really nice restaurant that was better than the ones I've made, but I make a consistently good steak every single time.
I think you could.
And
you
so
can make.
I'm like, I don't need to spend $200 on a steak.
You can make great steaks.
I'm not saying I'm an amazing steak maker. All right, it's just simple. It's not hard to make a steak. And I do not like it medium well. I like it a little more on the rare side. I'm saying you can make the greatest steaks you've had at home. And I'm not arguing that. I think you can make amazing steaks at home. However, if you want a perfectly cooked steak, I feel like the oven is the best way to go. You have to do it because when you put it in the oven after searing both sides, it evenly cooks the steak. And basically all you have to do is you set a time limit, like if you want it rare or medium well, whatever, you just set it in for a certain amount of time, then you take it out and you put it on the thing. Perfectly cooked. I think if you use an oven,
you're going to say I'm not a fan.
Steak,
or I'm not a real steak.
It means no. I'm saying something worse. It just means you can't cook a good steak on the oven top.
No, that's not true.
Because
that's what
that's like it's like cheating / baby mode putting in the oven.
Baby mode.
Listen, just cook it for see it on the skillet.
I don't. That's
you flip it.
I'm like clipping
after a certain couple
hard
minutes,
right now.
and that's it. And it's perfect. You with the seasoning beforehand.
I think. I'm not doubting that you guys can make a great steak just by searing both sides on like the pan fry method. However, I think you're not optimizing your process here. There's more to optimize.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying it could be easier.
Optimized to use an oven because it's an extra step.
Yeah, you have to preheat your oven and everything like that.
It is not. What's easier, right? Okay, what's easier?
And do you have a pan that can actually you can pull off the handle that way, and you can actually put it in the oven?
Well, I have a cast iron, so I put the whole thing in the oven, I use I have a rubber grip that I'll put on the handle when I take it out. However, what's easier? Searing both sides till they're caramelized, and then putting it into the oven for 8 minutes, or searing both sides and then checking both sides to make sure that it's perfectly cooked on both.
What are you checking things for?
Yeah.
You go into a steak with confidence.
Exactly.
You put it down for 3 minutes. You flip it over another 3 minutes. Done.
I don't believe that you guys can cook perfectly.
Yeah.
You cook one side too much.
You eyeball it. I know.
You cook one side too much, and you'll brown it through the middle. If you want it to be perfectly
when it
centered.
when it pulls away really nicely, that usually means it's done.
Just wash the steak. Just look
wash
at it.
the steak.
That's all you need
Who's
to know.
washing their steaks here? You gotta pat it dry, but you don't wash it.
TCH, not SH. Watch.
Oh, watch.
Look at it. Use your eyes.
Watch.
You can see
you can't,
that it's done.
Once it's caramelized, you can't see if it's done. You once you see the outside, you can't see if it's done.
What are you caramelizing your steak with? You're putting more than just salt and pepper on this thing?
You don't put oil in the pan? Oil or butter?
I mean, a little bit.
I put oil and butter.
I have butter. I don't put
butter.
Oil.
But when I say caramelized, I'm butter's on the pan, and you.
It doesn't obstruct the view at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm shocked. Yeah. My lads are steak fans.
Is this the decider? Are we gonna have to get together and make steaks?
Yes,
and see
we will. Because you guys don't know how easy it is. It could be so much more optimized. This could be optimized. I bet your steaks are dry as fuck. I bet they're dry as fuck.
Our steaks are gonna be done before your steaks.
Dry. DRY.
No,
it can't be optimized if it gets done later.
Here's the thing:
what? No,
do you let your steak sit? Do you let your steak sit?
Let it sit. You have to let it sit.
I mean, only enough so I can go get a beer.
No,
I was like, I don't
Anthony
know.
Bourdain had the best quote for this. It's once you take your meat off, steak's done, right? Take it off that. Let it sit for 5 minutes. Don't look at it. Don't think about it. Just cut into it. Obviously, just let it sit there for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and then you come back to it, so it can finish cooking on the inside.
Yeah. A lot of people will finish their steak and then wrap it in like tinfoil or something, and they'll also let it sit to make it cook. Which I get.
Yeah,
that is a good mentality here. But I still think the oven method's the better method.
I mean, for your inch and a half steak, maybe, because like that's a lot. But you can also just do that by, if you reduce the heat from like a high or a medium high to like more of like a medium high, that will just slow down that browning process. And that way it's, it's the thicker the steak, the slightly lower the heat. I mean, you don't want it too low, or else it's just gross. But
it's less repeatable. It's just less repeatable. No matter how good you are, you can't always get it perfect.
Okay, agreed. You don't have to worry too much about the heat, because as long as you know it's seared on both sides, you can just throw it in the oven. It works pretty well. Agree with you on that.
What you can put in the oven is bacon.
No, bacon on the stovetop.
I think
all the time, every time.
No.
I'm opposite too, because I think you can cook just as good as bacon on the stovetop in a cast iron skillet. May I mind you? The oven.
Okay, you have no right to argue this, Colton, because if you're arguing you put a steak in the oven, you can definitely put bacon in the oven.
I guess I'm not saying you...
For the same reasons that you were arguing.
I mean, but is it actually easier for bacon? Bacon you can cook well done. Bacon you can cook... It's not hard to make bacon steaks.
No,
steaks
but
are much
if
more...
you put it in the oven, it's flatter.
I don't want
the
flat
final
bacon.
thing is flatter.
What do
you mean you don't want
I want wavy.
It's not going to cook if it like all like, scrunches up. It's not going to have.
There's enough oil in that bacon where it basically just bastes itself.
The only reason you should cook bacon in a skillet is if you're then going to cook a steak in that skillet afterwards.
Which typically when I cook bacon,
but
I
use
cook
bacon
other
grease
things
though.
in that skillet. Yeah, bacon grease for my eggs.
I save the bacon grease.
Oh, heart attack on a plate, but bacon grease. Yeah, it's the way to go.
You make your bacon, and then you make the hash browns in that.
Oh,
yeah.
And then the eggs.
Did I ever tell you guys my American ramen recipe? I think I did.
What's an American ramen?
Where it's,
I don't think you told us, actually.
I use, so what I do is, like when I make ramen, right? I don't have pork belly because it's hard to come by, but you got bacon, tomato, kind of. I use bacon instead.
Really?
Like usually 1.5 to 2 inch cuts of bacon. I'll usually do an entire pound of the stuff, and I'll do that with onions. And like obviously the onions just like suck up all that delicious juicy pork fat, especially sweet onions.
Yeah.
And you mix those together, and then you use that as like your meat for your ramen, right? And it tastes delicious, and it's definitely 100% worth it. If you guys just have bacon sitting around, just use that instead of pork belly, because pork belly is a bitch to make.
It's a good pro tip. Can I ask you guys a quick question real quick here?
Yeah.
So like kind of on the same topic here, but you've both had pho, right?
Oh yeah.
You both had pho? So have you ever had
pho? Sure.
So I got pho. I recently just had pho for the first time. I got it like 2 weeks ago. It was very good. I'm a super big fan, but I got takeout from this one place, right? So they gave me, I basically ordered like the standard pho that was like a steak or beef pho. So I got it in like a styrofoam cartridge or whatever, takeout box. Brought it home. I had the soup in a separate takeout container. And I opened the styrofoam container, and I see a lot of like raw slabs of meat, right? Like straight raw slabs of meat.
Okay.
And I was assuming what I was supposed to do was put all the raw meat in the broth, like when I poured everything out, and it would cook in the broth. Is this like ringing any bells for you guys and your pho experiences?
I don't think I've ever had takeout pho, so I can't comment.
Because
it sounds kind of weird. Like, why would they
hot
do
pot
that?
To me. Like where?
Yeah, I was like, because I got my soup home. I poured it in my bowl. But like it's been like 15 minutes since I got home, so my pho wasn't super warm. So when I put the raw meat
really
in,
thin cut meat,
it was actually pretty decently thick, like an inch thick.
That doesn't. Okay,
so,
that doesn't sound
isn't that
right
weird? So I put it in there, and it it got browned on the outside, but then I ate it, and I was like, I don't know, it just kind of feels like I'm eating raw meat. It sounds like I did something wrong here.
Yeah,
like
I'm not a fan of pho, really.
You're not a fan of pho?
I'll eat it. It tastes all right, but I would never choose to go get it of my own volition.
Over ramen
you know?
or something like
I'm
that?
never like...
Or udon?
Yeah, or just, I'm never in the mood for like, oh, yeah, I want to go get pho right now. If someone says, hey, you want to get pho? I'm like, sure, yeah, I'll go get it.
Pho, yeah.
But I never choose to go get it myself. You know what I'm saying?
To me, it's like a fast food version of ramen. Like, I would prefer ramen as well, I think. It felt, I don't know, maybe that's like a weird take on it, but
I think just different spices. I like the different spices when it comes to that. Like if I'm in the mood for, like, I feel like ramen has its very distinct flavors. Pho also has distinct flavors, but it's got the same vibe.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like, which one do I want to go for? I mean, we're talking here, right, about like, oh, which food from some just, Asian culture do we want to have, right? But yeah, I think it's definitely a different flavor than ramen.
Yeah, I don't know. It was good.
I want to wind it back real quick.
Okay, let's do it.
What is your guys' approach to kitchen cooking, if that makes sense?
Kitchen cooking.
Like, do you, when you cook, do you set everything out and then prepare, or do you like get things out as you cook, and like, do you just throw every dirty thing in the sink? And then, because for me, I love to clean as I cook.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll be done with a fork or a pot or something, and then I'll wash it as something's cooking, and then I'll my workspace is always clean. But I know not everybody does that in a way, and I usually just grab ingredients as I need them. I don't usually set things out.
Okay,
that makes
I'm
sense?
the same.
Like, what's your guys' approach to this, to the whole cooking thing?
You want to go first, Mike?
Yeah, I
go for it.
I'm with Sean minus the cleaning side of things. I have everything dirty at the end of it. I throw it in the sink, wash it off, dishwasher. I'm not cleaning in the middle of it. One, because I fucking hate just like the manual dish cleaning. I don't know what it is. I think it's just like gross stuff on my hands, but I'm dishwasher all the way. Yeah. Never been a fan of that. So I love using the dishwasher, like organizing that side of things, but manual, yeah, it always been bothersome for me. Fortunately, I've really not had to do it too much, except when I was younger as a kid, because my mom didn't have a dishwasher. But yeah, I'm with you though, where you just like grab stuff from and like all your cupboards. Like I have a really small kitchen right now, so it's just like super easy for me to just turn around and grab something. I don't usually set it out like, some fancy like home. You ever seen like a home cooking channel?
Everything's in its own little bowl.
Exactly, and they have like the tiny little like spice things. I'm like, no, fuck no. I just have my spice rack. I just dump how much in there. I don't measure stuff out. I don't care about measuring. That's why I like cooking, because you don't have to care about measuring. Whereas baking, you do. You need ratios of like correct ratios. I'm like, this looks good. I can just eyeball it and it works out.
I'm a very by the books guy. I for better or worse, I don't like deviating from a recipe very much. So yeah, when I cook and I'm using a recipe, I have a lot of Tupperware, a lot of little Tupperware cups. So if there's like, add the ginger, the garlic, and add the vinegar at the same time, I'll add all those things in the little Tupperware cup, stir it up, and then I'll pour it all in at once. So that's how I typically like to do it. Like the steps of where you add ingredients, get all your ingredients, put them together, and then add them, during those steps. So prepare it in advance.
Yeah.
But honestly,
finish.
I was just gonna say, most of the time, if I know a recipe very well, I'll kind of just wing it. Like I won't have to do that, because I know that for me, that's like, if I am supposed to cook something for like 2 minutes, I want to cook it for 2 minutes. I don't want to spend the next 2 minutes like looking for the other ingredients, trying to chop it up. Like, oh shit, like, oh, now it's been cooking for 5 minutes and I overcooked my meat or something like that. So I try to be like organized, but I also am I'm very messy. So I make a big mess and I have to clean it up at the end after I'm done cooking. I'm the worst. I'm so bad with messes.
Yeah, dude. Like even now, like I still see a couple spots on my from like the oil when I was cooking that steak earlier. Just like the oil spots on the side of like
when it splats. Yeah,
I was like, yeah. I mean, I love cooking with oil.
I gotta clean up everything. I hate messes.
Cleaning as you go.
It's gotta be like cleaned as I'm going, or as soon as I finish dinner, I clean everything up.
Really?
That's
yeah,
good.
I wish I was like that. I wish I was like that because I don't like cleaning at all.
Everything I hate mess just in general. Like
your wife will adore you.
I hate dust.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm always like dusting or
I'm gonna
something.
say house husband Sean.
I was gonna be like,
I
Sean's
mean, like,
gonna become
it's just
the house husband.
Well, also it's a way of avoiding things to do. Like if I have something I need to do and I don't want to get it done, I'll just get up and start cleaning or arranging.
Okay,
things.
that's understandable. Yeah.
A lot of people
I did
relate
with
to
organizing.
that. Yeah.
I love organizing too.
Yeah, I hate cleaning.
And I love throwing things out. Like I love just like I don't need this anymore. Get this out of here.
Throwing things out is
and then it has more room for I can organize something else.
Yeah, it's true.
Although real quick on the recipe thing, the first time I cook something, I'll follow the recipe, and then every subsequent time, I'll just kind of
go off it,
use it as a loose guide, and be like, hey, a little more of this, a little less of this.
Yeah,
maybe I'll add some occasionally if there's I'm cooking a steak, I'll put some like. Instead of oil, or I'll use like beer or something like that.
Oh yeah,
or like Guinness.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Just experiment.
It makes it better.
Experiment.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I never follow a recipe, even if like it's the first time I have to cook it. I'll find recipes, right, and I'll be like, all right, here's the ingredients I need, but actual like measurements and stuff like that. No, I'm just like eyeball. I can taste it, see how it is. Oh, tastes pretty good.
Gotcha.
I'll roll with it. But yeah, no. Never. I just use the recipes for inspiration, and I almost always change it because like I don't have one ingredient, so I'm like, all right, how do I substitute this out for something?
Oh yeah,
I also today made just a Jiffy. I just decided to make. I had some Jiffy banana mix, and I was like, "This sounds
Jiffy banana mix."
Have you never had Jiffy before?
Peanut butter. The peanut butter.
I know peanut butter, but like
no, that's not. That's
banana.
Jif. No, Jiffy, like Jiffy cornbread. Jiffy cornbread,
oh,
like the little tiny blue boxes. They're like 50 cents a pop.
They're like a teeny little box.
I don't recognize
like this big.
The name.
It's like a solid 6 inches tall.
And they're amazing. Yeah, so you just buy them. They're like 50, 60 cents. And you just, and I'll get those. And like, I felt like I want some dessert today. So I was like, all right, I want to just make one of these. And I didn't have any milk. And everything calls for milk. So I'm like, all right, well, what can I use as a substitute? So the classic substitute is butter and water. So I just threw a bit of melted butter and some water in there. Yeah. And
did it work well?
Tasted great. Yeah.
Huh.
Super tasty.
Interesting.
I ate the entire batch. That's meant for like 4 people.
Nice. Also,
I mean, maybe save that for later.
It's still tasty though.
3 dudes talking about cooking. We are the epitome of I don't know. I like cooking. I feel like a lot of everyone thinks that dudes can't cook. It's like, dude, cooking's amazing. I love cooking.
Growing up, my dad did all the cooking.
Same.
Yeah. When I've been to your house,
he
your
made
dad
all
like
the food
cooking
and everything. Yeah. So I'm like, and also, I mean, it's basic, survival skills. You gotta be able to cook something.
I gotta be able to make it at least like cooked through and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and not just. I can cook macaroni and cheese. Like that's not real cooking.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. You gotta be classy.
Sure, I could throw in the bagel bites to the microwave, and that'll get me through the day. But it'd be cool to know how to make different stuff. So that's how I approach it. It's just like learning how to do.
Yeah, and for me, it's like, all right, I want to make something that I can get at a restaurant, but cheaper, and I don't have to like go out to a restaurant. So why not just learn to cook it from home? And so. That's my thought process, and most times I can make it better because I like know how to make it to my specifications.
Yeah, that's
except for obviously
that's way better than the restaurant.
Well, like, I mean, I'll say I make a better steak than most restaurants.
Your taste, yeah, I get it.
That's a thing, dude. Honestly, like the knowledge on the internet, like if you follow a recipe, like for something that you really like, you could probably like beat half the restaurants that make that thing. Honestly. Yeah. Like, it's hard to go out to a restaurant when you start getting really into cooking because it's like, why am I paying someone to make this for me when I can just do it myself? Like, you save time going to a restaurant, but sometimes it's like, if I want my chicken Alfredo, it's like, I could make it so much better at home.
Oh, yeah.
You can
especially
tune it to your
like
own
that
tastes.
Kind of stuff. Like, because...
I think a lot of the times, though, it's like a time thing, like you said. Mm-hmm. Like, they're making things quick.
Yeah.
It's not going to be spectacular because they're just not spending the effort you would they're making everything in batches.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I've been really noticing, personally, I've been really into spicy food recently. Do you guys like spicy food?
Oh, hell yeah.
In general, not bad. You know, it adds a little bit of spice. You know,
Yeah.
to what I'm eating.
Personally, I've been so bad with spicy food recently, my whole life, I guess. I get hiccups really bad, so I've generally avoided spicy food. But recently, it's been like a challenge for me. It's like this thing where like I like want, yeah, like I'm like, it's like the only way to explain it is like it's like euphoric, right? Like when my mouth's on fire, I'm like, yes, I'm enjoying this. Do you guys get this?
That.
Do you guys not get that?
No,
okay. I feel like
I really don't like when it's like my mouth's dying.
When when you're in pain, like when my tongue is on fire, I'm like, this is a good time. Like it's a very like delicate balance that you have to hit.
I feel there's a balance, with that
but
a bit because I wouldn't say it's euphoric, but I do like enjoy the spice, and it's like, all right, like it's more like the sense of challenge, right? It's like I'm challenging myself that yes, I'm like tolerating this like extremely spicy food, right? And I think that's the fun part about it for me, at least.
Yeah.
No, you guys are crazy. It's like
it's weird.
The people that derive joy from pain are just masochists.
It's weird. I get it.
It tastes good, you know, like to have a little bit of heat. But if I think that if like my eyes are watering and like my nose is running and I feel like my tongue is on fire, I'm not having a good time. I'll be honest. I'm not really tasting my food. I'm reacting to my food, and I'm not allowed about that.
You've been hit by tear gas.
I used to be with you here, but honestly, I don't know. Like these spicy Cheetos, man. Honestly, a lot of people would probably think I'm like a wimp, right? These extra flaming hot spicy Cheetos. To most people, to a lot of spice enthusiasts, they're probably not that impressive. But I don't know, like when I'm a little tipsy, you know, when I have a little bit to drink and I have like 20 of them and like that flame cascades onto the mouth.
How much is a serving size?
20. It's like not
as much as you
want.
want.
A lot. But like I don't know, sometimes when I get that like constant flame on my tongue and on my mouth, it's like really good. The only time when it sucks is when I'm like hiccuping. When I'm hiccuping, I hate it. I hate hiccuping.
That's funny.
It ruins the whole meal for me.
I don't think I've ever had a Flamin' Hot Cheeto.
You're missing out, man. I mean, you can take a regular Flamin' Hot Cheeto.
I've rarely had any Cheetos. I probably had less than a handful of Cheetos in my lifetime.
I used to love regular Cheetos. However, Sean, hear me out here. Flamin' Hot Cheetos are on another level. You'll love Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
No, I don't think I will.
Yeah, you will.
Your spice tolerance is good enough.
I just okay. This gets into a larger thing of just snacks in general. There are a lot of things, a lot of snacks that I just or childhood snacks, you know, that I have either never had or have had like once or twice and then just never had again.
Give us an example.
Well, it's hard because I never eat them. Cheetos,
Doritos
is a big one. I eat Doritos. What's some other like cheesy things? I don't usually have the cheesy ones. What's the thing that's like
Cheez-Its?
this weird like it looks like a cone, you know, and it
cone.
Bugle.
That's not Takis, right?
Bugles maybe. Like Takis is another good one. I've
had
like
new,
10 Takis.
So that doesn't count.
In my life.
What do you...
Well, it was a big thing in high school, you know.
What do you like
really?
then, as far as snack food?
I don't snack very much. The only snack food I eat is trail mix nowadays. But like
Fair.
As a kid, I had almost exclusively Fritos. Doritos. Fritos are great.
Fritos,
Doritos.
Fritos,
and,
Frito,
and Tostitos.
they have no flavor.
Salted chip.
Fritos are like
along with the no flavor part. I don't like any sort of like extra flavor.
Like okay,
Wait a
like
minute.
sour cream or have you said salt and vinegar chips?
Oh yeah, you don't like those?
Yeah, I hate those. I hate those.
What?
Just salt. All right.
What?
If there's like
I can understand,
like the
but
lime,
I think it's not
people
optimized.
like the lime ones. Hate lime. No.
Do you like tortilla chips?
Literally just salted tortilla chips is my favorite.
I mean, tortilla chips are good, but you're missing out.
Yeah,
You're just missing out.
Doritos, for example. Doritos original nacho cheese, whatever.
Not Cool Ranch.
That's the only.
Not Cool
that's the
Ranch
only,
is
no,
Cool Ranch
I
are the
hate
Cool
shit.
Ranch
Those are
is
the
so
delicious.
in
good.
general.
Cool Ranch is so good.
Just backing off that flavor. Ranch, I hate ranch. I never eat
Understandable, but Cool Ranch Doritos are
I
the
like
exception
ranch,
to every rule.
ranch. No,
Are you someone who puts ranch on
those.
pizza, then, Colton?
Okay. I used to be a ranch. I hated ranch. I didn't like ranch. I
Ranch
did not
superfan?
like
Oh.
ranch. However, I've been enlightened, boys, lads.
Mm-hmm.
Ranch on pizza is good.
More like you've
ranch on
fallen
pizza is
into the
what
depths.
ranch on pizza is not something to be ashamed of. Ranch on
No.
wings is not something to be ashamed
Blue
of.
cheese. Blue cheese is for wings.
Blue cheese
Terrible.
is high tier, but I don't like blue
Blue cheese is
cheese.
terrible.
I'm sorry, I just don't like it. But I'm not flacking those who like blue cheese because it's
Blue
high
cheese
tier.
on wings. That's
No,
where it's
everybody
at.
to each their own. This is me personally. I just don't like these things. Like it's.
I think
I
ranch
hate
is
ranch.
good.
I only recently started occasionally having sour cream on things.
You're
Like just
we'll
very
get you
rarely.
sucked in. I'm gonna
Like,
tell you something's. I'm gonna give you ranch on a wing, and I'm gonna tell you it's sour cream, and then you're gonna be like, "I love this," and you're gonna be like,
Well,
"Yeah."
why
it's
would
ranch.
I'm
Why
gonna
would I
blue
put sour
cheese
cream
on
on
a
a
wing
wing?
and then tell them it's sour cream.
I
Wait.
wouldn't have blue cheese either.
Wait,
I
tell
mean, that wouldn't work.
Okay, we'll figure something out.
There are just so many weird food things with me. Like, I'm pretty open to eating foods in general. Like, I'll try anything new. But there are some things that I just didn't like as a kid or have just carried over. Like, I don't drink soda at all.
Really?
That's good though.
You don't drink soda?
No,
It is good.
As a kid, I had like 1 or 2 sips of soda, and I'm like, I hate this. And then I just never had soda again.
And now you can have
What do you
beer.
drink?
The better
Yeah.
soda.
You know, the only time, literally the only sodas I've had as like an adult is when I've occasionally had like a rum and coke
Yeah.
or whatever other combination that would be.
Do you drink anything that's like a flavored water or like something that's like a Gatorade? You don't drink any of that? Just water and milk?
I'll occasionally have Gatorade, but for the most part, I don't. I just have water. I drink a lot of water.
That's
But
healthy.
When I'm hiking, I'll sometimes do like an energy squeeze thing, water.
yeah.
in it. Like you squeeze this concentrate into water and it makes it that. But that's the only time I'll do that. I never wake up and I'm like, yeah, I could go for a Gatorade. Well, I guess if I'm hungover, yes. But like, other than that, I just drink water. I'm super boring. I don't have
Most
any-
people think that's boring, but it's optimized. If you like
Yeah.
water, it's good.
Dude, nothing's better than water. You wake up in the morning or just throughout the day, man, water quenches your thirst. It's great.
I feel like that's
Honestly-
a thing with people who like have grown up with like good water. Like I know that people who don't like I family obviously who live, out in the country where they drink only well water, right? That's the only water
Like,
they
if
have.
you live in Flint,
Yeah,
you're probably not going to like
that's
water.
a different story in general though. But
Sorry.
but yeah, their water sucks, and so you don't get like any kind of like reverse osmosis or all that fancy stuff that you get from like normal tap water in cities, and
Is this
they have to just stick with soda because the water there is shit.
I remember wasn't the in the olden times, didn't they drink like beer and wine more than water or something like that?
Yeah, they have like
'Cause it was,
3% beer
cleaner?
all the time. Yeah,
I thought that was a thing on ships to get, your to get hydrated, you just drank beer or something like that.
it's all everywhere. Because the water
Back
was
in the-
terrible and it was like filthy, and so
Yeah.
they
And
purified
and
it
poison
by
and like the purifying process of fermentation.
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 There you go.
Fermentation.
That's the
Fermentarian.
vocabulary we need. We need that.
Yeah,
I need to read a thesaurus, dude, and a dictionary. That'd be the way to go. I don't know where I was going with this, but basically, water is superior liquid, and soda sucks. Is
Soda doesn't
Changed
suck,
my mind.
but the water is the most superior liquid. If you don't like water, you need to change something of your life.
you would die.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is what you
yeah. I don't understand people who can only drink soda and just be normal. I'm like that.
Be
like,
normal. Are you
Yeah,
not
I mean-
You're not
cursed?
normal.
I mean, yeah, like just like it's so unhealthy for you. Like I don't understand.
There a lot of them.
I mean, I'll
there's a lot
drink
of people
soda,
out-
but
There's a lot of people out there that treat like Diet Coke as like water.
Oh,
They're like,
yeah.
Diet Coke, 0 calories. It's
I
like
know
the
plenty
same
of
as
people like
water.
that. Shit, like some of my family are like that, right? And I don't understand it.
The liquid just looks impure. It looks like it's bad for you. I saw a video once where they put they got this really high-powered water purifier, essentially. You put water in it, and then it like a Brita filter, but
really good,
way more expensive. It's like you fill up one end, and then it pumps through a motor system and all this purifying filters, and then at the end it comes out like pure water. And they put a Diet Coke in one, like in it,
come out clear.
And then at the end of it, it was pure crystal clear water.
Wow.
I mean, so it just shows you like how much junk is in that. So there is, most of it's water, but then all the junk in it is, screwing it up. Initially, I didn't drink soda because I hated the carbonation.
Oh, really?
As a kid. And then as I grew older, it became a health thing. And I was like, well, then if it's bad for me, why would I drink it? And I just kept that thought process.
You discovered beer. You're like, well, that's carbonated. Okay, I can't hate on the carbonation anymore.
Right. So when I was old enough for beer, I was old enough to overcome carbonation. As a kid, I'm like, this feels weird. I hate it. As an adult, I'm like, well, I can make do with that. And now I'm all right. So I feasibly could drink soda, but I just don't think I'd like the sugar and the sweets and all that stuff. And why would I if I've never had it? Why would I drink it?
Yeah. I honestly drank an unhealthy amount of soda in high school. Like real
Mountain
talk.
Dew?
Mountain Dew, Coke, man. Okay, so when I was a kid, I had what I called the man cave. I had a house that had an attic.
And I was just about to bring up all the kids drinking Mountain Dew, and that was the whole
gamer
all
fuel,
the 90s
bro.
was like the gamer fuel, the red line Mountain Dew or something.
Yeah, it was great. Like I in the attic, that was our game room. So we had a big TV, like a projector TV, it was like a 70-inch TV. It was awesome for me.
Oh, nice.
We had a big couch, so it was like this couch that was like, I don't know what the technical term of it was, but it was like a like the square footage of the couch was large. It was like a square. Do you guys know what that is? It's like
it was just a big width couch or something,
width, but it was like a square couch, but it was like 60 inches by 60 inches. Like it was a large couch. And so I had a bunch of like sleepovers on that couch or whatever. So, but like there was countless nights where I would just like be on that couch, like a huge like the sprawling couch, and like play video games with my fucking Mountain Dew and my Diet Pepsi.
God. Were you playing Call of Duty as well?
I was playing like Battlefield 3. I was playing all like my favorite video games till like 4 a.m. as a high school student. That shit was so good. I loved that. I loved long gaming sessions at night, drinking pop to stay awake. That was my life when I was in the winter
for me,
where I lived.
How did you survive?
In the winter, jeez. It was amazing. Those were nostalgic times.
See, I'd stay up as well. I'd stay up. I'd game. Mainly playing Halo.
Late
night sessions. I drink water.
Liquid.
It's
no caffeine.
I could take these noobs on any day.
No, dude. I was a night owl. I never needed and I don't drink caffeine now. I don't
Wait,
have
you
coffee or any sort of energy drinks.
You
or
don't
nothing.
drink caffeine?
I don't drink tea as much as I used to. I occasionally I'll have a cup, but it's never for the caffeine.
Yeah, it's for the taste.
Yeah, I don't drink caffeine. I don't drink.
How do you survive?
I just, he's the force of will.
I need like at least 300 milligrams of caffeine in the morning just to like get a head start on my day.
No, at this point, I could see myself getting into coffee easily because I love rituals like that. And I love getting good at, like, I could see myself like, oh, okay, I need the right conical burring device so I can grind the grinds in the right way.
Yeah, like optimizing your coffee process.
I love dark beers. I love the coffee taste of that. Easily could see myself getting into coffee.
But you're not into it.
But at this point, I'm avoiding it because I don't want the effects of coffee.
So is this only a matter of time, Sean, before you become an addict?
Like the rest of us.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I've seen people like go backpacking with people that or camping and someone's like, you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is make coffee, and people just can't function until they have it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I'm not that bad. Like I like coffee. I think coffee tastes really good, honestly. It's so weird. I like black coffee. I think it tastes really good.
Yeah. Same. I
would imagine with the right beans, black coffee's really good.
Super tasty, yeah.
It's amazing how versatile black coffee can be. Like if you just have black coffee.
Yeah, like and it's like 4 calories too. So you don't have to worry about any sugars or anything like that. It's just straight up deliciousness.
It's very good. And I don't know.
I don't think I've ever had coffee.
Wait, you've never had coffee?
You've definitely had
to
have
had it somewhere.
Probably. I've had a mocha frappuccino. I've had
that's
2
not
or 3
coffee,
mocha frappuccinos from Starbucks in high school. I remember that.
Did you ever have coffee from
I don't think I've ever had coffee. I mean, maybe I had like a sip as a kid from my parents and I was like, blah.
Blah.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever had coffee.
Did you get some vending machine coffee when we were in Japan? No, you never.
I don't drink coffee.
Next time. I mean,
maybe I had a sip of yours, but I don't think I did. I think I just didn't have it.
Huh?
Well, I can't believe you never had coffee.
I've only ever had like a quarter of a Monster.
I don't like energy drinks like that, man. I'm not a huge fan,
either.
Man. Like I do at work sometimes to get through like a hard like 3 p.m. like slog, but I don't like Monsters very much. I'll do Kickstarts, Mountain Dew
energy
Kickstarts
drinks in general,
but that's about it.
I like Rockstars, but I noticed that they destroy your teeth. Like I remember when I used to drink them because I used to drive an hour to work every single day, or almost every single day, and like just had to take that, wake up at 5:30, 6 a.m. and head out and drink a Rockstar in the morning. And boy, my teeth, after a week, my teeth just like were so sensitive and painful. I ended up switching to pre-workout, funnily enough, from
pre-workout.
It works.
If you're going to use it as if you're going to use caffeine as a tool, I do think pre-workout is one of the best things. And I don't think a lot of people actually think about that.
Yeah.
It's easy cheap. It's easy to take too much of it. Some people take a lot and they become really dependent. But if you're careful with it, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
You got to know what you're getting into.
I only do half scoops of pre-workout, and that usually does the trick. So 150 to 200 milligrams of caffeine. And definitely if I have too much, I can definitely feel it. What is it? There's a beta something in it that makes you weirdly vibrate. Definitely hits me. If I have too much, it's it makes you twitch a little bit. It's weird.
Is why I wouldn't want to try these things,
Oh yeah. I mean, it's understandable. I unfortunately don't have that. We talked about being coffee addicts, right? There's definitely some people who are
about what? Oh, coffee.
Dependent.
Who cannot function
Straight up
at all.
dependent.
I think you can function without coffee or caffeine.
Yeah, my ritual now is drink a full glass of water before coffee, and I don't think I'm dependent because there are some days where I drink the full glass of water and I don't drink coffee at all.
Do you get caffeine headaches yet, or no?
No, I don't get caffeine headaches. I'm good.
Neither. See, there's definitely people who do.
That to me is addiction.
That would suck.
If you.
Yeah. I have a funny story with caffeine with my friend with coffee. So I had a friend. This was a guy I lived with when I was in college. He wasn't caffeine dependent, but he whenever we were, when exams came around in college, sometimes you needed to study a little more. Or when you needed to wake up for your exam, when you've studied 13 hours the previous day, you needed to wake up. So we had a friend who worked at Starbucks and gave us a large, a supersized thing. When Starbucks, when they leave for the day, when the employees leave for the day, they can throw shit out, or they can kind of bottle it and take it home with them. So this girl bottled a huge supersized thing of cold brew coffee, right? Just regular coffee. So we thought. So we had this huge thing of coffee and she gave to us, right? And we took it home and we all drank a little bit of it. The next day after
This was another friend that you had? Or
this was just a friend that worked at Starbucks that we had in college.
Oh, okay.
So my buddy has an exam the next day after we get the coffee. He gets it and he pours a big glass for himself before the exam to drink on his way to exam because he was really tired, right? So he's drinking this cold brew, just regular cold brew, drinking it. He finishes the whole thing. And he's in the exam. When he gets into the exam, he's like straight up having like a panic attack. Like he can't. He's got the jitters, the caffeine jitters, so hard he can't even think. Like he said it was like the worst thing he's felt. Like the caffeine jitters, like he was writing
like,
down,
actually like shaking like this.
Yeah, like he was an engineering student, so he was writing down stuff, and he said he like couldn't hold his pencil still. Like it was that bad.
What was in this coffee?
Well, Starbucks coffee, man.
Come to find out, we thought it was cold brew, but all it was straight espresso, just iced straight espresso. So he drank a whole cup of espresso, and just got like, I mean, you know, an espresso shot is tiny. It's like an ounce or 2 ounces, and he drank like a cup's worth. The dude was absolutely off the wall in his exam. Like he was
wired up.
Yeah, like that's wild. So that was funny. I really like that story. It was just like, that's man, nuts. That is like, I feel like the best description of that is like a panic attack. Like you can't help but just like start panicking when you have that much coffee.
Even normal Starbucks coffee is nuts. Because I think they add caffeine to it.
Do they really?
I remember like seeing something like
wait. Starbucks adds caffeine to coffee.
Because it's a lot higher than normal coffee. Like I remember seeing, I think it's like 200 milligrams for like a
cup,
medium or a large.
Yeah,
that's more than typical, I think.
Yeah, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. I mean,
like hell,
obviously, I'm not going to say anything, like I'm just that's. You know,
call them out. Starbucks, stop adding caffeine.
Yeah, Starbucks, on my ass, but it definitely seems like they add stuff
caffeine usage.
Yeah, no, that's more than like normal coffee has in it. Like that's pre-workout level / like
that's a lot. Yeah,
caffeine pill level.
And I've only ever had like tea as what caffeine as a thing that has caffeine in it is the only thing I've had is tea, and I've never really felt anything from that.
Really?
You know, we maybe
a little bit.
Didn't have enough, which probably did.
Okay.
The only time I've felt like, I don't think I've ever felt caffeine.
The caffeine jitters, or
really
the caffeine waking you up in the morning. That's probably good. It's like, I don't know, like best not to get dependent on it, right?
Yeah, just drink water and beer and don't have any caffeine.
Depressants only. Woo!
And as we know, beer is mostly water. So
yeah,
beer is just purified water.
It is.
I don't condone drinking. I feel like I'm legally supposed to say that.
As all of us drink.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do not condone
it.
It's so weird, like thinking about the things that shaped your food tastes, or just the stuff as you grew up. Like I made this one decision as a kid, like as like, you know, a 6-year-old kid. I was like, I don't like the taste of soda, and like 20 years later, that decision is forming my, you know, life decisions at this point.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
I feel like personally, I'm becoming a lot more open, just since I'm becoming more of a foodie as I live on my life. Like I used to hate. I was the typical kid. I didn't like onions, and I didn't like mustard, or I don't know. I didn't like a lot of things. But as I grew older, like I was like, you need these things. Like onions, you can't like be a cook and not like onions. Onions are good.
Onions are
they are very good. They give a lot of flavor to dishes. You can't just like not use or like onions.
Onions and garlic and like everything I cook.
Yeah. Like they're super necessary for a lot of our cuisine. I don't know. I feel like I've been a lot more open recently. I used to not like sushi once upon a time. Did you guys ever not like sushi?
I don't think I had. I can't remember not liking it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
I used to think that was weird shit. And I think it's amazing now. So.
Yeah. I was really fortunate
I think that,
to grow up in an area like where we had so many different types of food.
Oh, ethnic foods, yeah.
Especially like having, you know, two working parents. A lot of times we had takeout. It was not cook from home stuff. It was like, all right, gotta do cheap takeout. So it was like, all right, doing cheap Chinese or cheap Korean or anything like that, right? And so you ended up having I feel like I had so many different things. I'm like, I think we've talked about this. The only thing I really hate are green beans. It's the only thing I really like am not
green beans.
Totally. If there's green beans in something, I am 100% opposed to eating that.
I mean, why not something like asparagus over green beans?
Asparagus is delicious, though.
Asparagus
what
is
the fuck are
very
you talking
Then
about?
why don't you like green beans?
Asparagus
I don't know.
is good.
I just
That's
hate
what I'm
green
getting
beans.
at,
I think
like-
it's because
Yeah.
green bean casserole or something like that. That was like a staple of my family during Thanksgiving, and it's just I don't know. It never sat right with me.
Yeah, are there any foods you guys still can't eat? Is there anything you just refuse to eat still?
Well, I mean, besides ranch and cream cheese.
Yeah, besides that stuff, like a staple, like a sweet potato. I know you guys eat sweet potatoes, probably.
I don't like yams.
Don't like yams.
I don't eat yams or sweet potatoes.
Why? They're tasty.
Yeah, sweet potatoes. They can be good. I think you just haven't had them cooked right.
Have you had fries? Sweet potato fries?
Only way I eat sweet potatoes. Every Thanksgiving, my mom makes sweet potato casserole.
Everyone
and
loves
it's like a bed of sweet potatoes, and then like a bunch of. It's like a family recipe with like, brown sugar and almonds.
It's like a
butter,
dessert.
walnuts, and all this stuff.
A lot of
It's a
butter.
dessert.
Yeah.
A lot of butter. It's the only way I'll have sweet potatoes. Otherwise, I don't eat them.
Yeah,
So
Carly's parents do this thing where they do the yams and all the brown sugar and stuff, but then on top of it they put a bunch of marshmallows, and then they flame torch the marshmallows. It's not nutritional. It is literally a dessert, but we eat it with Thanksgiving dinner, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
That's a really interesting thing. Do you guys have any other like weird kind of traditions for Thanksgiving?
So one thing that my family does is we don't do turkey on Thanksgiving. My dad does prime rib.
Yeah.
And that's exclusively what he
that's
does.
the way to do it.
Honestly, that's high tier. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good shit. Like
Same.
a nice prime rib. Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, I don't like Thanksgiving.
Really?
It's understandable.
Well, okay.
I don't-
Let's jump into this.
Okay, to preface this, next week is Thanksgiving. Like we're pretty close to Thanksgiving here.
Turkey Day.
For our time here, and I'm just not a huge fan of like the honestly. I mean, obviously, I like getting together with family and seeing people, and it's nice having that event. The foods that we serve at Thanksgiving are not great foods.
What do you serve?
It's like the classics. Like stuffing. It's all right.
You don't like stuffing?
Stuffing.
It's all right.
Okay, if it's done well, you should like stuffing, I think.
Yeah.
Turkey is subpar.
That's totally
it's a subpar
That's
bird.
fair.
Yeah.
That's why our parents don't
Usually
do
dry.
turkey.
The ham is usually way better.
Yep. Understandable. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Cranberry stuff. Not a huge fan of cranberry
Are you not?
stuff.
No.
Okay, I haven't had cranberry sauce before. Is
Wait,
this
what?
What's going on here?
Wait, what?
It's popular. I know it's popular. Should I try it? Should I do it this Thanksgiving?
No. Here's the thing:
No.
is try the stuff. There's two strains of thought. See, I hate normal like cranberry sauce unless it's like that you get from a can that's like with the clumps in it.
Oh.
I've had
it's like-
homemade ones though. If you home make cranberry sauce, it's delicious. Or try the canned, just like uniform. It's like this uniform
like
gelatinous
this jelly
mass.
cylinder.
It is,
Yeah.
and it's delicious. I will eat like almost
Really?
an entire can of that stuff because it's like this tart cranberry stuff. Dude, I
fearful.
love cranberry sauce.
I'm
It's
fearful
so tasty.
for that stuff. I'll try it. I
There's like-
gotta try it because I know it's a
Yeah,
staple.
I can't believe you've never had it before. It's such a staple
Yeah.
of American Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of corn either.
Corn.
Like,
I love corn,
just
man.
Corn on the cob.
Corn's
corn on the
great.
cob. Not a fan. Or just even when it's like off like little kernels. Off the cob.
Sean, do you like vegetables?
Just the foods that they serve at Thanksgiving are just not the foods I like to have.
What you want
know what I'm saying?
ramen or udon for Thanksgiving and
Give me.
Well, I mean, Colton's prime rib sounds awesome.
yeah.
Like,
You should
Let's go
honestly,
with that.
Sean. You should just make prime rib along with the turkey and be like, okay, guys, okay, what do you want? Like after you make it, be like, okay, for real, what should we do from now on? Like, should we make?
you
prime
can have
rib?
the turkey or you can have the prime rib.
Yeah.
Whatever you decide is the next tradition.
Yeah,
Like,
right, exactly.
Yeah, I'll
I
take
feel
prime
like-
rib over turkey any day.
Yeah, prime rib.
yeah, it's I don't know. It's like my train of thought just died completely right there.
Do you have a lot of family over? Both of you guys? Like my family, I have like I have a lot of close family over, but not a lot of extended family.
Usually the direct family, like my mom's side, my dad's side. Sometimes we mix.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
This Thanksgiving, I'm going to Texas because my cousin on my mom's side moved there recently with her husband.
Okay.
And this is like their first Thanksgiving in Texas, so we're gonna go fly out there and with my mom's side of the family, and have a Thanksgiving at their house.
Cool.
So
that's very fun.
Yeah, I have like 3 Thanksgivings most of the time. I have like so many different groups of family. Yeah, so sometimes. So my grandmother loves putting on Thanksgiving, and she's in the South. So
the South of America.
No, the South of the U.S.
Okay, that's why. Okay, that was really like bad
South,
of me.
South America.
South of the United States of America, not
She's
South.
Brazilian, actually.
That would be cool. That would be so cool, honestly.
That would
go to Brazil every Thanksgiving. That would be awesome.
Oh, that'd be so
That'd
cool.
be amazing. Anyways, yeah.
No,
okay, so
yeah,
South of the United States.
South of the U.S., yeah. And so like that is something, and a lot of times we'll fly out or take a drive, that's always brutal.
Brazil?
But either that, and I've got like my grandpa on my mom's side who does usually their own little Thanksgiving, and then like it all depends on who. It's always up in the air.
Who wants to host every year, and like
it's usually just chaotic, and I'm usually just pulled between like 3 to 4 different family groups just to like have Thanksgiving, and it usually takes like 2 days between like Thursday and Friday. Yeah. It's always an interesting time. I've got like 3 Thanksgivings to go to this coming week, so that's gonna
cool.
It's gonna be fun.
We would do. I have a group of family friends. Like my parents are friends with people from college and such, and then they all have kids, and then the larger group, all of us get together. Usually 20 to 30 people or so. Usually the weekend after Thanksgiving or the Sunday. And we all bring our leftovers from Thanksgiving and have like another little get together, almost like a Friendsgiving, but we just kind of do it amongst ourselves, and we play like flag football or something and just hang out. So it's another little tradition that we usually do.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. And there's plenty of leftovers after.
Everyone always has leftovers,
Oh, honestly, I think it's the best.
Godsend. I love leftovers. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
You don't like leftovers, Sean? Come on, man.
I'm shaking my head because it goes back to the thing where I don't like what we have for Thanksgiving.
Oh,
so
I
then
guess, yeah.
we get leftovers. Like, I'm stuck with this for days.
Okay,
Yeah.
like stuff for Thanksgiving, maybe like C tier sometimes. I know. Like,
Yeah,
I love stuffing, but turkey, yeah. But when you put them all together and let them sit for a day or two and let all like the deliciousness combine, it becomes an S tier item. I don't even know. I don't need like normal turkey.
I can see
like
this.
Fresh off, but when it's like leftovers with the stuffing and like maybe even a bit of and so much cranberry sauce in there. If there's cranberry sauce, it usually makes it weird tasting. But like all that and like maybe a bit of that sweet potato. Oh my gosh, it's just this like mash of food that's
it's like nostalgic in a way because we've had it growing up, and it's like now it's just like whenever I have that turkey with that stuffing, potatoes, yams, corn, Sean. It's just delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I won't eat these things. Like I eat my, the stuff. It's not every meal is not, I don't have to have S tier meal every time I eat. I take some L's sometimes, with what I eat, but I eat it. To me, I think the bigger problem is like when something's prepared in a way that's not all right. Like the turkey that I usually have. And this not just at my family's gatherings, but most turkey is dry.
It's tough
to me.
Yeah, it is dry most of the time if you're not careful.
Yeah, and that to me is an immediate put off. Like I can't.
Yeah.
If it's not juicy meat, I can't really eat it.
Yeah, I guess
that boy
easily.
Yeah, you gotta like go, or you just gotta go for the dark meat. I guess you can make legs dry, but it's at least a better you have better odds going for the dark meat to be more juicy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I usually go for the ham. The ham never disappoints. I
never disappoints.
I will say, I really like the ham at Thanksgiving. That's what. If there's no ham Thanksgiving, it's gonna be a bad time.
Yeah.
If there's ham, Heck yeah. I mean, that's what I'm having the whole
honestly,
time.
Sean, I think you should just make prime rib. Be like, hey guys, so instead of ham this year, I'm gonna make prime rib, and if you guys like it, I'll come back next year. Like,
Yeah.
just do that. I bet you can make a good prime rib as long as you put it in the oven after you're done. While you're making it.
No.
Actually, with prime rib, yeah.
skills.
Are you guys bringing anything for like your Thanksgivings now that you're growing up out of college with a job?
I'll probably make something at where I have Thanksgiving, but not like bringing it over from my kitchen or anything from my apartment.
I mean,
personally,
and you're flying, right?
Not.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of not how my family operates. It's kind of like whoever's making the or hosting Thanksgiving, they make it, and you can't bring it because it's like, not part of the plan. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
you guys like really
unless
religiously
you're my
plan
mom
it out?
and she makes sweet potato casserole, and then everyone accepts that.
Yeah.
But I can't really bring anything. Also, since I'm going somewhere else, it's be kind of weird to take over their kitchen.
Yeah.
To make what I need.
Yeah. You should like make like I'm making curry. I'm gonna make a little curry.
Are you making curry? Wow, that's cultural.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? This is like something that I think most people can like. It's a little bit different though, and so I'm like, all right, I'll make this. And so yeah, I got all the meat and stuff for it.
That's
so I'll probably make that Tuesday or Wednesday and throw that in the pot. And well, I have to package it up because I have to make the rice for it too, which is actually yeah. And
that's cool.
Carry that in the rice
curry. I could take Coco's curry.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm super excited for? A little bit of a tangent, but I'm going to San Diego very soon in the next week or so. And
I'm really bummed actually.
I'm going to be gone. Sean, that's like so upsetting. But there's going to be
like any other week.
I know. But there's a Coco's there's a Coco's curry in San Diego, and me, Sean, and Mike went to Coco's curry in Japan because that was a fast food restaurant in Japan when we went there. And I just can't wait to relive that memory of Coco's curry. I'm so excited. I can't even put it into words.
I'll tell you right now, it lives up to it.
Oh my gosh. I'm so
Wait, what?
I can't
like it's equivalent.
The Coco's curry is like the chain here in America.
Like it's the
tastes
same.
Just as good as the one
I'm so excited.
In
oh. Sorry, small tangent, but it's like the closest I've been to going back to Japan. Like Coco's curry.
I don't know how you're gonna avoid not eating there every day.
Honestly, yeah. I can't wait for Carly, my girlfriend, to
experience it.
I'm like, yes, this is just the beginning. This is great food, right? But that's only C tier. Like you got B, A, and S tier to go to.
Yeah.
Like
it's way more expensive than in Japan.
Oh, is it?
Like it's gonna cost you like $15 a plate.
Oh, that's a bummer. That's not as good.
The taste is the same. So you got that going for you.
Yeah.
Because Coco's is like C tier curry in Japan, but in America it's like A or S tier.
It's like this is
food.
Amazing.
Oh, easily S tier.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Jeez.
And I remember how cheap it was too. It was like what 600, 700 yen for like a full meal over there.
Oh man.
It was a good time.
Gotta go back.
All right.
Someday.
Another tangent because I want to bring this up because you mentioned dark meat and breast meat on a turkey. But are you guys dark meat fans or are you guys breast meat? This is just for chicken or anything.
What would you consider dark meat?
Wings and thighs.
Yeah, like thighs.
I'll eat anything.
You don't have a preference?
Not really. As long as it's cooked well and has a good consistency.
Okay. Here's my thought. I think if I had to pick like a perfectly cooked breast, chicken breast, obviously, or a perfectly cooked thigh, I think you guys are laughing.
Chicken thigh?
I could see. I'm like, I gotta clarify.
Obviously, chicken. Okay, Hannibal Lecter.
Anyways,
continue.
Yeah. So I'd prefer the chicken breast probably because it's a good chicken breast is like really tender still, but like really like lean. But I think thighs are the most they're the easiest to cook. A ratio of good to bad experiences with thighs, more often than not, thighs will be better cooked. a lot of restaurants I go to, chicken breasts, they're just dry as fuck.
Yeah. Nah, dark meat all the way, man.
That's my biggest problem.
Yeah.
Dry. Bad.
Dry is not good. Dry. This is why I like soups. I like soups. I like curry. Curry. Dry meat in a curry makes it like not as bad.
Yeah. You know what the shit are?
So
though?
you're the
Is
Sorry, you're saying?
have you ever gone to like the store, like a Meijer or Walmart, and they have the fresh roasted like chicken breast? It's like an entire chicken. It's like
the bag of chicken?
Yeah, the rotisserie
$5.
chicken.
That's pretty good.
I love that shit.
Dude,
They
I love
cook
grabbing
it better than
those.
I could. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and like just I love just because you can take that apart and it's like 2 meals. Like I'll usually on the
Yeah.
spot when I bring it home eat up the wings and the thighs off that, and I'll like save the meat for like exactly right, making a soup or something like that. But those things are the best deal ever.
So, Colton, you're the chicken man,
Yeah.
self-proclaimed. What's your opinion on KFC? Because I really like KFC.
Do you? Okay.
In terms of like just the taste, it's not something I have often.
I do have
It's like once in a blue moon, but it's good.
I do have an opinion. So here's the thing. I haven't had KFC like a bucket of chicken in a while. So it's hard for me to speak on that. I had a KFC bucket of chicken last I had one of those buckets of chicken was in like 2017, and it was near where we went to college in East Lansing. It was not good. It was D tier.
Really?
It wasn't that good. However, since then, and I think I've spoken about this in another podcast, but the KFC chicken sandwich I've had like 3 or 4 times in the past like 6 months. Very, very good. Like it is probably only below it's below Chick-fil-A and Popeyes for me. Like it's not as good as Chick-fil-A or Popeyes, but it's consistently been really, really good from all the KFCs I've been to. I want to get some of the regular chicken because if it holds up, then I think it'll be great. But I've been scarred by other KFC experiences within the past like 3 or 4 years, and it's not been great.
As a kid, I used to like always want to go and get the popcorn chicken.
This is hilarious because
it came in this little like popcorn-esque box, you know.
I was this,
and it's like chicken nuggets essentially. Yeah. I loved that as a kid.
I was the same way. I loved it when I was a kid. Yeah, popcorn chicken, that was so good. I thought KFC was the shit. I actually haven't gotten the popcorn chicken box in a long time. I should see if it's as good as it was.
All right.
I think I should too.
I'm going to be ostracized for this, but I actually really loved the Burger King chicken fries.
The green beans?
Oh. Do you remember those?
Gross. I don't like those.
I know.
Wait, what?
This is as a kid.
Oh, man. Oh.
Have you never had those before?
I vaguely recall this thing. Did they make like...
They were like these
fries.
long, thin things of chicken, and they're just like... Just minced up chicken, right?
That sounds really weird.
Dude,
it was. I freaking love those things.
The weird thing is, in my opinion, the chicken fries aren't as good as their chicken nuggets. Their chicken nuggets, in my opinion, aren't that great either. But at least they have a really good value. But the chicken fries are like completely different.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I get them ever right now. I don't know if they make them anymore. But I remember as a kid, like anytime, there's a BK close to where I grew up. So be like, all right, we're going there and get the chicken fries.
I've never been a fan of Burger King.
And there's a good reason for that. Like, you're the burger man.
Yeah, it's just not as... There's one right next to my house, like really close. I could feasibly walk to it. I've probably been to it once. It was not something that I would want to.
Where does it place on your... You're the fast food burger man. The king of fast food burgers. Yeah. Now, where does it rank? Like D tier?
Oh, the bottom. Probably.
F tier?
The Whopper?
Probably. I mean, like, what are some... I mean, there's another one. Like, have you ever heard of The Habit?
I have not.
It's another burger place in my area. It's a good one.
I mean, you got In-N-Out, which is S tier. I know for you. You got McDonald's, Wendy's, Arby's. I'm not sure if they sell burgers. You got BK.
Arby's probably does, but I don't go to Arby's either.
You got Jack in the Box. You got Whataburger. Steak. You can put Steak and Shake and like Shake Shack in there too.
Steak and Shake. Yeah. It's, I don't know. A lot of them are at the bottom, honestly. A lot of them are just, or a lot of them bottom or middle rank.
It is
They're just
In and Out at the very top, and then everything else below that.
That's S tier right there.
I mean, In and Out is the best. I don't know. Someone has to tell me, like, if there's another chain out there that like can compete with In and Out, they gotta tell me.
Argument back up. We've already had this argument before.
Have we?
In and Out is not the best fast food.
Oh
burger.
yeah, we've definitely argued.
Wait,
about
what
this.
is the best? What is the best for you?
Whataburger for me.
Mike? Oh, that's right. Okay. Well,
I'm gonna try Whataburger this weekend.
Yeah. Let's come back.
When I'm in Texas. I'm gonna make it a point to go to Whataburger, and then we'll revisit.
Yeah,
let's
revisit this after Sean's through this, because I think In and Out's better than Whataburger. That's my personal opinion.
Can't comment yet, but I have my predictions. However, I am open. I'm not like going into it with saying like In and Out's most definitely going to be better.
Yeah.
I like to think that I can go into it non-biased,
objective
enough.
Yeah, I'm going to be really surprised. Wouldn't it be the funniest thing if you thought that Whataburger was better? Like you're like,
that'd be
Whataburger's
it'd be
the
crazy.
Clear...
It would turn my world upside down.
Yeah, that would be a. Sean has been raving to In and Out for me and Mike like for years. Like
ever since I first met him, I think one of the first things we talked about was like that.
There was a time where Sean thought that In and Out was the best burger of all time, which is objective because it's like really cheap. It's like the best burger you can get for like that cheap. But to have something beat out In and Out, that would be. That'd be a plot
crazy.
twist.
It would change who I am as a person.
Yeah,
probably.
I mean, it would. I mean, Sean would drop climbing and take up swimming at that point. Like, that's what would happen.
Oh, God. I can't imagine it.
He'd dye his
like,
hair
exactly.
black.
Oh, God.
Yeah, God. Shit, we gave away that Sean's a
I really hope it's not that good then, so it doesn't change my whole identity.
Sean now will wear, like, contacts for his eyes. He'll have different colored eyes.
Get a Naruto eye in there.
Naruto eye. I think he's got blue eyes.
No, but like they have the crazy looking eye.
Oh,
things,
that's Sasuke.
What are those called?
I don't know how Naruto works.
Sharingan, man. Dude,
Sharingan, okay.
My
weeb,
you're the only one who
knows Naruto.
Yeah, my Naruto weeb's coming up.
Naruto.
Yeah, you know what a cool eye color would be? That would be super cool. I think purple would be the coolest eye color.
Could be a Targaryen.
Purple would be pretty cool.
Purple would be like the cool, in my opinion. I think purple would be awesome.
Oh yeah.
I think there is natural purple color.
Is there really?
It's very, very rare, but there's natural red, natural purple, and another couple other colors that are like really.
I need to find this person.
Is it heterochromia, where it's two different eye colors, like
heterochromatic or something like that, or one's different?
Yeah. Well, like you have like the Australian Shepherds are like that, right? They have that. I mean, obviously I'm talking about dogs right now, but yeah. Have you ever met anyone who has that?
I've never met anyone.
I've not
with
met anybody.
Purple eyes.
No.
Yeah, I always thought that was really cool.
Or someone who had heterochromatic. That'd be cool to see though.
I think I've seen people with chromatic eyes, and it's weird. It's like I want to tell them like, dude, your eyes are fucking awesome, but they probably get that all the time. It's like, because it's one of those ones where it's like down the middle of their eye, it's blue and brown.
Oh, and whoa!
It's so cool.
That's even rare.
Instead of like the brown with the single brown eye and the single blue eye, it's like down the middle of their eye. It was like, it's so weird because you're having a conversation with them and they're looking at you, right? Obviously they're making eye contact, and all I can like see is like their eye. I'm like looking at their one eye. And I'm like,
yeah, and you're not even listening to what they're saying. They're just staring directly. You're I'm like, bro, staring at them intensely.
I'm like, you're the protagonist. You're the protagonist of my story. Just unveil. Like, I don't know. It's cool. It's super cool.
Yeah. Did they have crazy red hair as well, like spiky and stuff like that?
Nah, I wish.
Protagonist.
I wish. Not
quite
that.
That is really fascinating.
Yeah.
You ever what about like any of that other stuff? I actually do know someone who has. You ever heard of synesthesia?
I've not heard of it. What is it?
I wish I had that.
What is it?
I think Sean, you can explain.
Well, I mean, it's when you see colors.
See colors.
No, wait. It's when you
What?
you hear things, and then what you hear is you see them as colors.
Really?
Yes and
Wait a
no.
minute.
So like if you
It's
no,
it,
okay,
it can
what is
be
it, Michael?
it can be anything, but one of them is see things as colors. It can be like listening or reading, or you see something and you hear a sound. It's just basically senses get like confused,
mixed?
like they're mixed together. Yeah, and they're I guess
Huh.
synthesized. Maybe I don't know. Synesthesia. Yeah. The person I
How
know
does that-
has the I think it's reading and colors.
Huh. So they
they'll see a letter and that triggers the
a
colors
color?
associated with it. Yeah.
That's
So like I've heard somewhere where someone with this condition will talk to you, for example, like, oh, what's your name? He's like, oh, I'm Colton, and they'll go like, oh, your name's really red.
Yep.
You know,
like, oh,
like it sounds, you know, like they get a color from a sounds. You know, the story I heard was somebody was talking with someone and they said, wow, your name is really colorful. Like it has a lot of colors in it. That would be so cool. Like
that would be
you would
cool.
hear a song and you would just hear in colors essentially.
That would be
Yeah,
kind of
but
cool. Yeah.
You can't turn it off at the same time. And that,
Yeah, I wonder if
you
it's
know,
a
I'm talking to
curse.
the person I know, like they're like, yeah, it's just part of my life and it's just normal.
Huh.
But I wouldn't say it would. Does he think it's annoying? You know, like I don't think that would be
Sometimes
annoying. I
they
think that
don't
would
like
just
their
be
name.
an extra sensory.
They actually
thing.
don't like their name because their name is not, it's like really jarring. Like the colors that they see do not
Reflect like
Are
their
just-
personality kind of thing.
well
That's so
more
weird.
so
That
just
is
like
interesting.
it's a very like I think it's like a lot of like reds and blues and like greens and like just really and they're like bright and vibrant for their name.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like,
Huh.
yeah, and so they're like, yeah, I hate like seeing my name written because
Weird.
it's so
That's so weird.
jarring.
This is okay. You know, you guys have you guys have played Portal, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Or have heard
very
of
little
Portal?
bit. Yeah.
So it's like this game where you're in a facility that tests random things, and one of the things they're testing is a portal gun, which connects to points in space. Not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is this facility they're in tests anything, you know, and just, you know, for science
Yeah.
with no ethical obligations. I want to get like these people, okay? Two of the same. I want, you know, someone like your person that you know, Michael. They have this. They can read it. I want to get someone else who has the exact same thing, and I want them to read the same thing and see if they experience the same colors.
Oh.
Yeah,
Because then
I bet there's a study out there like
then-
that.
yeah, because then we would know, like, okay, does things just have an intrinsic color property,
That's a good point.
or is it totally in the mind? Because if it is the same, that would be nuts.
That would be
because then
really
it
weird.
means
That'd be super weird.
there is some sort of like base level color to
Yeah.
to
stuff.
like certain
That'd be
words.
crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but I watched a documentary on how different languages, right? It was Kiki and Bobo were the two like test words, right? And
Mm-hmm.
every person saw Kiki as a spiky object and Bobo as more rounded, right? That's
Yeah.
the sounds as spiky. And
Yeah,
so like
yeah.
that's an intrinsic thing
Right. Yeah.
too.
just
And this
'cause
is
of
across
the-
languages across, you know, the world, right? Where
Yeah.
you know, and so that is intrinsic. But you're right, that'd be really fascinating if the same colors. I kind of lied about the colors I talked about for the person's name because I was worried that that's actually the truth. Because I was like, I don't want the person to know their name, right? Because you can, it's a pretty simple name. So I was like, all right, you can probably break it down. It's a pretty common name. So I was like, probably if someone knew which colors, they could probably actually figure out what name it is just off those colors.
Oh,
if that was
yeah,
the case.
specific name. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Like that's so weird. How I kind of want that to be true.
That'd be cool.
You know,
There's something in the
that-
mind
that-
that we're
that-
not unlocked that they have.
Yeah, because, and one of the other things, like, you know, Vsauce, right? This YouTuber Vsauce.
Vsauce, Michael here.
He's kind of dropped off the map.
Yeah, where's he
recently,
got? I
but,
love him.
Last several years,
Vsauce.
but
Michael.
he makes these videos that are so thought provoking,
Mm-hmm.
or he just really deep dive into a topic sometimes, And one of the ones he was talking about that stuck with me is color. And it made me think that one of the things he says is your color is, I'm butchering this. How do I know that the color you see and the color I see is the same?
I've thought about this a lot. Like, what if my green is your yellow? Like, how do I know?
But we both know they're green just because we've grown up with that.
We've been told that color is green. But how do I know? To me, it's the same as what you like. Actually, the same as what you see. Like, what if my skin is green?
If the color I see is the same color you see, I just know that we have agreed that is the same color.
Yeah.
Like, do we actually know?
It's so crazy.
Like, it's probably the same, but like, I always wondered. I was like, what if my skin looks like blue to someone else? Like my version of blue.
Like you ever seen like an inverted picture?
Yeah.
Like where they invert the colors
infrared?
for it?
Yeah.
And exactly that. Like, what if someone does see that as...
I used to think about that a lot as a kid.
From a physical standpoint, the wavelengths represent the same thing.
Yeah, the wavelength,
how it's interpreted by the brain.
Brain interpret it differently.
Chemically, it can be different.
Yeah. I mean, there's kind of some truth to that, right? Think about people with certain forms of color blindness, right? Mm-hmm. They can't see things in that range. Like, I'm no neurosurgeon or anything like that, but is that part of it? Or I don't have color.
Talk with authority.
I don't have color blindness, but is that something that happens in the eye side of things, or is that something that happens with the brain, just how it interprets information coming from the eye?
Yeah,
it's got to be a brain thing, like how it looks. Because if your brain is saying we just are not going to perceive these things, or maybe it's like in the eye, but regardless, it's organic, and organic can't be the same every time. I mean, we look so different.
At
so
least
how is
variations?
It's possible that we can see different things, but we just agree that it's all the same.
What
it's
intrigues
trippy,
me also is if we like see like different, not so much different colors, but like different colors, not so much like totally different, right? Because that's the obvious one. But like, what if we saw different colors, like specifically, like maybe yellow for me is more vibrant or more saturated when I see it.
Like your whole color balance is totally off from someone else's.
And it's just like that slight differentiation. What if blue pops out to someone more? And I just find that really fascinating because
that would be weird.
That also pulls into like, what's your favorite color, right? And if that is something that actually influences, your quote favorite color may actually be influenced by like a biological thing, not just but we're getting kind of metaphysical here.
Yeah, this is quite a bit here.
This is a deep dive.
I love those topics, though.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to think about that stuff. Send us your comments below of what you think your favorite color is.
What you think your favorite color is.
What do you think? Yeah.
And
is
why
it
do you think
your favorite color?
No. But yeah, it's a weird world, man. And like how your brain chemistry, obviously synesthesia, pulling back to that's a whole different boat in general. I can imagine it'd be really interesting to learn from someone who has synesthesia, who like not so much like the sound and color, but about like taste, like do certain tastes bring certain colors.
That would be super cool.
Imagine experiencing food like that, right?
In a color, that would be cool as hell.
Like you taste certain foods and it brings up certain colors or even certain sounds. Like that would be an interesting.
And then someone's like, "This food sounds terrible."
This food sounds like a bad, like a high school band. Like it's not good.
That would be crazy.
That'd be so interesting.
Or reverse, you hear a song and you're like, this song tastes awesome.
This tastes bitter, or this tastes sweet and great.
That would suck. That would be the worst one.
Yeah.
Because then you'd hear, what if there's a super common sound that's tasted disgusting?
Yeah, I was like, what if traffic just like made you taste bitterness or something like that?
Or what if the sound of someone coughing
was
like...
that'd be rough. That would suck.
Oh, man. That's so fascinating to think about.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I'll have to ask person. I think they know a couple other people, so I'll have to ask my my friend, see if they know anyone else who has it, or if anyone has experienced the, I know they know people who have it, but who've experienced the
Syntheses is anonymous.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I would, if I knew somebody like this, they would hate me because I would never stop asking questions.
Yeah.
What does this sound like? What does this taste
like,
like?
hey,
What is it? Like
yeah.
all
Let me
these
know.
things.
I
feel
want to
like-
know.
Yeah, I mean they've had it on the DL pretty well, so I didn't know about it until I knew him for quite a while. I was like,
What if?
wait, what?
What if like going further? What if like my taste like steak? What if steak tasted to you like chicken? Like our tastes receptors were different. Like you think steak tastes different than I do, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Well, I know it does because you put it in the oven.
Okay, get the fuck out of here. Steak is good in the oven. It's the most optimal way. Professional chefs, please comment. If you're listening, comment and tell Sean that he's just missing out here.
All right, actually, I'll have to
Please
ask
do.
my manager is actually used to work as a chef in a restaurant. I'll have to ask him.
Ask him and prove
when I
Sean
see him
wrong.
next. Yeah. Did they? I mean, obviously this is a restaurant, so it's a bit different than home cooking. But do they put it in a? They put it in the oven, or no?
Leave your like and comment in the oven. And
In the oven.
Yes.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Well, my lads, how far are we into this podcast?
Oh, hours.
Hours. I'm at hour 22, but I don't think we've talked that whole time.
I think we were like hour 30. I would say at least.
Is it time?
Yeah.
Is it time to see our viewers off for this week?
I think it is.
You can cut
Oh,
this
it's
if you
getting late
want.
for me.
I'm
I
just,
need to go
I'm
eat dinner,
literally
I'll be
asking.
Yeah.
Is it time?
Yeah, I say I think we probably are at like 1:30. So
Okay. Well, we can end it.
1:30 to 1. Like I'm at 2 hours. On
I'm at
mine.
2:23.
Same.
Yeah, so I have no idea reference of time. Well, viewers,
Right, yeah.
I think we probably did like
let us know. Is steak better cooked in the oven or is it better cooked on pan fry? Please comment and then follow us because we'd really appreciate it. But, lads, this has been almost a podcast. We'll get there one day. We're so close. I think we're close. Are we close?
what are we close to?
We'll get there. But we'll get there. I really have faith.
We're close to a milestone.
close to
we're
a
we're
milestone,
close.
an
We're close.
undefined milestone.
So please give us a follow, like and subscribe, comment. We love you all. Play outro music, Sean. Please cue me in right now.